Welcome back to another video. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. Today is Easter Sunday, the 12th of April. Today's video is another question and answer session. I did one of these a couple of weeks ago. It was very, very successful. I've had hundreds of questions in, so let's get on with it and I'll see how many I can answer. And I may even do another question and answer session tomorrow. Paul Russell asks on YouTube, "Hi Chris, do you think Daniel Levy was angry with Harry Kane and the interview he did with Jamie Redknapp? As people have pointed out, he has stated he is very happy at Spurs as long as we are moving in the right direction." Now, let me just say that during this period of COVID-19, of course we're on lockdown and the players aren't training anymore, then yes, I think that the club probably weren't very happy at all that Harry Kane did that interview and said what he did. Of course, the manager, Jose Mourinho, he wouldn't have been happy with that either. It's kind of, Harry Kane has, for the first time, questioned the commitment of the club and questioned the future of the club. Now, Jose Mourinho has come in to Tottenham to deliver us a trophy, to make Tottenham successful again. And I say this on every video. In 2008, since Tottenham last won a trophy, it is far, far too long. Players like Harry Kane, they're at their peak of their career. They're at the top of their game. Yes, Harry Kane has been out injured, but he is a born goal scorer. He will score goals wherever he plays for Tottenham, England, and any other club that he goes to. But a player like that needs to be winning a trophy. When he joins up with all of the England teammates, are winning trophies left, right and centre. Look at Kyle Walker, how many trophies he has left since leaving Tottenham. So Tottenham do need to show the intent. And I do think that it is a warning for Tottenham by Harry Kane saying, if Tottenham are going in the right direction. Because for me, last summer was the key summer when Tottenham should have invested. We were Champions League finalists, and after that, I think that we should and could have attracted any player in world football, because it kind of put Tottenham on the map to say, we are in a Champions League final, and we are a regular Champions League team. So yes, I do think that it is a warning to the club, and yes, I do think that Daniel Levy, Jose Mourinho and the Tottenham board wouldn't have been at all happy with that interview that Harry Kane did. A couple of days ago on YouTube, Roger Clark asks, "If we can put the current issues to one side for a moment, can you honestly see us winning a major trophy, the Champions League or Premier League, under ENIC in the near future, within the next 5 years, if not ever?" Well, let's face it, last year we got in the Champions League final. Lots of us were moaning about the investment or the lack of investment. We didn't spend money in 518 days, yet Mauricio Pochettino took us to a Champions League final. He's also taken us very close. The League Cup final in 2015, a couple of semi-finals, but we just didn't quite get over that line under Pochettino, which I thought was a great shame. I miss Pochettino as a manager. I think that he was really taking us forward, and I felt as though Mauricio Pochettino, although we were close on a number of occasions, I thought that we were going to get there under him. I feel sad that we haven't, it hasn't worked out. Mauricio Pochettino's gone, and a serial winner in Jose Mourinho. He has been there and done it. He's won every single trophy in the land, and he has come to the club to win us a trophy. Will we do it under ENIC, and will we win the Premier League? The Premier League, I think, is so hard to win because the amount of investment that you need, particularly this season, Manchester City and Liverpool, they are just miles ahead of any team at the moment because of the money that they spend. They just spend the money, they pay the wages. Liverpool identified all of the players that they needed over the last couple of years. They went out a shopping list and literally just ticked one off after another and went out and bought. And ultimately they've won the Champions League, and they're running away with this season's Premier League. It's all about investment. It is all about investment. I've said a number of times on radio shows and on this YouTube channel that it is all about investment. And last summer for me was the key summer when we should have invested, because it just seems that under Mauricio Pochettino, you know, certainly in the last couple of seasons, in my opinion, I think that we have only been a couple of players away. And of course, now we've had players leave, you know, we've had injuries. And with all of that, other teams have caught up with us, other teams have bypassed us, other teams have invested, and we didn't. And that period of time where we didn't spend money in 518 days, a club like Tottenham, who are a regular team in the Champions League, you just cannot stand still. It doesn't matter what team you are, whether you are a League 2 team, a League 1 team, a Championship team, a Premier League team, whatever, you cannot ever stand still. You must always refresh the squad. On YouTube yesterday, Scott P asks, why are your uploads so late? Scott, big apologies about that over the last couple of days. Yes, the uploads have gone into the early hours of the morning, so big apologies about the late uploads. I will try and keep them a little bit earlier if I can, but I'm just trying to keep to my everyday job, and as well as doing jobs like tiling, decorating, painting, flooring, you name it, I've been doing it. I like to keep busy, like to just keep doing things, and you know, can't really sit about during this isolating period, you know, so I'm just keeping up to date with everything. And you know, then I do my Tottenham news videos late in the evening, so you know, work permitting, then I will try and do them a little bit earlier for you. Steve Watson has asked on YouTube, smart haircut, Chris, you must have done that for a bet. No, Steve, I didn't do it for a bet. I just thought that it was the easy option, you know, because I'm not going to be able to go to a barber's, you know, for the foreseeable future. I normally get my haircut done once a week or once a fortnight. Thought that that's never ever going to happen, so it was just easier to just chop the whole lot off and just shave it all off. But I did also donate £100 to the NHS, who are doing an absolutely fantastic job. So if any of you can donate to the NHS, the link is in the description box below and the comment section as well. In the last couple of days, Assessed writes on YouTube, Chris, do you think that Harry Kane will leave? Personally, I think that Harry Kane will stay at Tottenham for next season, certainly, yes. It must be very, very disappointing for a player like Harry Kane to have not won a single trophy at Tottenham so far in his career. As I keep saying, the last trophy for Tottenham, 2008, 12 years ago, is just absolutely crazy. We've been so close to win trophies, but it must be very, very frustrating for Harry Kane. But I do think that he will give Jose Mourinho a full season with him and the squad. And I think that's very important to do so. You know, you bring in a serial winner to win a trophy. Let's wait and see what happens during the 2020-2021 season. But even today, on the back pages of newspapers, it stated that Daniel Levy would accept a bid of £200 million, which would be a world record fee for a player. So, you know, at the end of the day, every player has his price. I do think that we need to show intent, though, to players like Harry Kane, showing that we mean business and showing that we are going to be gunning for the Premier League and gunning for some of these trophies, because ultimately footballers want trophies in their cabinet, and I'm hoping, desperately hoping, that they will come soon. An email from Richard Baker, and he writes, Chris, who is your favourite ever Tottenham player and your favourite current player? Now, my favourite ever player who played for Tottenham was Jurgen Klinsmann. He was just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. That 94-95 season, I know I've said this on numerous videos, but he was just absolutely amazing. The energy that guy created, the goals that he scored, the the way the crowd felt when Jurgen Klinsmann had that Tottenham shirt on. It just made us feel so alive. I will always remember that 94-95 season like it was yesterday. Unbelievable goals he scored. My favourite current player has to be Heung-min Son. I think that he just gives his absolute all. He always gives 100%, always got a smile on his face, scores some absolutely fantastic goals. Absolutely brilliant in the Champions League. I think when Heung-min Son isn't playing for Tottenham in the Champions League, I do worry slightly because he scores such important goals all of the time. He will always go down in the club's history. Of course, scored the first ever competitive goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, scored the first ever European goal at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So, yeah, unbelievable player. On the last question and answer session video, Lil Nugget writes a question. If you was the manager with a limited budget, say £60 million, what area would you strengthen first? Now, I must say the area I'd strengthen definitely first would be the defence. I think that Tottenham can always go forward and score goals. You know, certainly with Harry Kane and Heung-min Son in the team, Dele Alli, Lo Celso, Lamela and co, they can all get goals for Tottenham. But defensively, I think that we have really struggled, particularly under Jose Mourinho. I think that we have really struggled defensively, and it is an area that I thought that he would strengthen and work on very, very quickly as soon as he arrived at the club. But I would say I think that we have really missed Kieran Trippier. I didn't ever think that I would say that, but Kieran Trippier, I think that we have really missed this season. Serge Aurier, I just don't think he's good enough for Tottenham to take Tottenham to that next level. And Serge Aurier, his position, right back, I think needs replacing. Ben Davies at left back has been missing, since the first game that Mourinho come in, West Ham away. We've really missed him. Danny Rose, we've really missed him as well. But lots of arguments. Are they both good enough? Probably will need a left back as well. Jan Vertonghen is going in the summer. He's out of contract. So, yet another position that we need to fill. There are lots of positions that we need to fill right now, but I would say if I had £60 million, like you've just said, I would put that £60 million in a defence. An email here from Mary White, and she asks, Chris, Pochettino or Mourinho? Well, I think I've spoken about this so much on my channel since Pochettino was fired back in November, and then of course Mourinho come in. But the answer to your question, Mauricio Pochettino always. The fact that he delivered European football to Tottenham year in, year out. His 5-6 years at the club were, unbelievable. He took us to places where we never ever thought that we would be. To take us to a Champions League final, yes, although we didn't win it. That night in Ajax, that night at Manchester City, some of the times, that I've witnessed and the things that I've witnessed under the management of Mauricio Pochettino were just absolutely awesome. And that is why I just think it is such a shame that we didn't end up with a trophy under Pochettino. A question here from David0308, and he says, Chris, what would you do with the current season? Would you void the season if you had your choice? Personally, yes, I think I would, but I don't think the Premier League or the Football Association or anyone connected to football wants to do that. There is so much money involved. All of the clubs will lose so much money. The TV revenue, it is an absolute mess. If they voided the season, it is an absolute mess. There is just so much money involved. I think that they are doing everything in their power and will do everything in their power in the future to make sure that we do complete and finish the 9 remaining Premier League games. I think it would be a shame not to finish the season, but I just think that with the situation we're in, I think the easiest and the best solution all round, for safety reasons as well, I think that we should void the season. I think that if football did come back and it was behind closed doors, and those 9 remaining Premier League games would be behind closed doors, I think that would be a big shame as well, because football really is about the fans, and if the fans aren't in the stadium, when I see images sometimes and videos of not many fans in stadiums, it's just such a shame. You need your fans there, to cheer you on and support your club. But in answer to your question, I think that this season should be voided, yes. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you would like to ask me a question for tomorrow's question and answer session, please do put it in the comments section below. I will see you later on tonight for the Tottenham news video. Please do stay safe and well. See you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.